Okay, so let us start our today's session. So first of all, I would like to welcome you all for Business Toys, and we will be having a 2-day training session on Master Bootcamp. So this will be a hands-on session where you will get a live hands-on practice on working on a real-time data for a data science project. So first of all, I would like to introduce myself. So my name is Manikanta Prasad. So I'm a vice president at Business Toys Private Limited, and I do also work as a data scientist for multiple data science projects relating to e-commerce and healthcare. So today I would be taking you through this particular training session where you will experience and you will understand what is the need and how data science industry works on a real-time situation to solve a business problem. So, in this context, so let me start my today's session. So, I would be asking a lot of questions in the middle so that I expect all of you to interact with me well and answer the questions so that this session would go much interact in a much interactive manner. So, first of all, let us talk about what you can expect from this particular bootcamp training program. So the first is you will get a hands-on training upon a live data science project where you will get to work on a real-time data from a particular industry. And with that, you will also have a clarity about how data science career you can choose as an option. If at all, if you choose, would that be a right choice for you or not? And also, in this particular training time, you will also go through the complete learning path of how someone can make a career transition from a different career background to data science, as well as you will also learn the tools and techniques which are actually used in practice in data science industry. And also it will empower your mindset to take up your decision to start your data science career. But before starting with this particular training session, one thing I would like to make clear for all of you. So the people who are attending this training, some of you might have already been knowing about what is data science, how things works in data science, whereas some people could be very much new for this data science program or about having a knowledge upon data science. So one thing I would like to make clear for all of you, that is, even though if you know certain things and aspects, or even though if you don't know certain things and aspects, it doesn't matter. So I will consider that all of you, all of our attendees for this particular training program is completely new for this data science field, and let us learn from the scratch. And some of you might be having a thought, thinking like, this particular training program could be highly technical and things like that. Now, if at all, if you have such fear in your mind, please take it out. So it will be as similar and as practical and easy in order to understand how industry works. So let us get into this training. So first of all, when I talk about data science, okay, just a brief question, just a small question. So anyone can answer this. My question is, what according to you is data science? What do you think? What according to you could be data sciences? You can put your answers in the question and answer section. So anybody, what is data science according to you? Okay, I have an answer called study of a data. Brilliant. What else do you feel? What is your opinion according to you when you say a data science? What is data science? A study of a data and getting insights from the data for business approach. Wonderful. That's a very good answer again. Like this, generally, if you see, there are a lot of things, which can think about is a lot of people say that in order to handle a business problem or in order to deal with a business problem, we do certain data driven approach for analyzing the things and coming out with certain solutions and strategies to overcome those business problems. So all of these aspects will happen in data science industry. So some of you may be having certain idea, or some of you could be completely not having any sort of idea regarding this. So today let us take this opportunity and to understand and to gain knowledge about real time world of data science industry. So first of all, I would like to first tell you a small story. So the story of one particular company who actually emerged from nowhere and became, the market leader in that particular product segment. So first of all, I would like to introduce you to one of this company called Light. Now, this is a Chinese-based company. So the original name of this company is totally different, but since I'm not authorized to take the original name of this company, I have changed the name of the company and I have kept it as Light. So today we will be discussing about this particular company, and then we will moving on into the data science approach of this particular company. So now let us first understand about this particular company. So this Light is a company which is based out of China, and this particular company, they are basically the smartphone manufacturing company. So this people, they had launched their smartphones in China, and once they had launched their phones in China, these products of these smartphones were very very liked by the customers in China. This was kind of a very successful smartphone in Chinese market. So people really loved their specifications, and the product features were really amazing. So people were really impressed about Silite smartphones. So after looking at the success of this particular smartphone in China, so the promoters of this company thought, how about let us plan for expanding our business? So their thought was, they thought of expanding this business or having an expansion of their business. Now, my first question to you all is, if at all, if you are a part of this promoting team, or else if at all, if you are a part, a group, if you are one among the group of promoters, and if you are sitting in a boardroom where you are discussing with your board team members regarding the expanding or expansion of this particular company, can someone suggest what, according to you, could be the best expansion plans in order to grow this company to a next level? Or what, according to you, could be the good, thoughts which you can express from your end to grow this company to the next level? Can someone share some of the thoughts of from your end? What do you feel? How we can expand this company? The company is already successful in Chinese market in China. Now we are planning about expanding it. So what thoughts you can think about in order to expand our business? So I want you to think like a promoter and share your views. What do you feel? How we can expand this business? If at all, if this is your business, how do you think, what are the different measures which can be used in order to expand the business? Can someone share your thought? Okay, I have answers like study the market. Very good. I have another answers like explore to other country. Brilliant answer, Dhananjay. Okay, I have another answer from Hemant says categorization of customer group. Brilliant. I have another answer like advertisements on social media and e-commerce site. Very good. So there are multiple approaches and multiple strategies will come up once you start thinking about expansion. So based on all of these options which these people explored, they thought about entering into a new geographical location. That is, they thought of how about let us enter into a new market or into a new geographical location or into a new country, and how about let us start our business there. So when they were thinking about this, they thought, how about let us enter into Indian market? And why did they take this decision was they thought, Indian people are very much fond of smartphones. So, if at all, if they like smartphones well, and here in China, already if people are liking our product, there is, again, there is a positive end that even Indian customers may also like our product. So this was a kind of a thought which came in their mind, and they thought, how about let us expand our business and let us enter into Indian market. Now, if this was the decision which was made, now you being a Chinese company, if at all, if you have to enter into a new geography or a new Indian market, which is completely new for you, now you tell me what all kind of a research which you should do from your end in order to understand the market of India before entering it. As we all know that before entering into a new geography, it is always a safer side that you will understand, you will do a complete research about that particular market. Now, if at all, if you are given a task to study the Indian market, what all things you will focus on and what all things you will try to study there? Can someone give your opinions? Okay, I have an answer says gather some information, trend in the market. Okay, very good. So Hemant says average salary. Okay, that's pretty good. You can think about when you say average salary, that talks about the buying purchase, like a purchase, power of a customer. So I have an answer from Bikram. He says price. Oh, okay, let us keep this simple. Let us say your smartphone is a budget phone which can be affordable by everybody. This is not a very high range phone. Let us say your smartphone is a budget phone which can be purchased by any given Indian customer. So think in this way and come up with some research which you can actually think about. So I have an answer which says we should think about the income level of a customer. Brilliant. This is one very good answer. So you should also, I have another answer which says study of the customer in Indian market. Yes. So when you say studying the customer of Indian market, yes, you will study about their behaviors. You will study about their buying power, and you will study about their preferences. Apart from this, anything else you feel that we should study about Indian market, which is completely new for you? Anybody else thinks that apart from this, something else also should be thought about? More features in less price. Yes, this is another answer. So Bikram says we can think about more features in less price. And already your product is famous in China because you're already providing wonderful features with a very much affordable price. So that is the reason your particular product is already a success in Chinese market. Now, if you want to bring the same thing into Indian market, so what other research can be done according to you? Can someone think about something else also apart from customers, apart from studying about the customers? What else can be done? What else can be studied? Okay, I have a wonderful answer. Other existing competition in the market. Brilliant. So when we talk about other competitors, now first let me make this clear for you. Now, first thing is this company, okay, the original company, they entered into Indian market in the year 2014. Okay, they entered into Indian market in 2014. So at that time, if we have to do a research about the existing competitors, who do you think could be the existing competitors at that time if I talk about 2014? Can some of you name the competitors, mobile phone, companies who were leading in the market when I talk about 2014? So that you can think about Apple. No, Apple was not Apple, though it was there, but not very much famous in the mobile phone industry as other companies. Yes, we do had Samsung as a market leader. Brilliant. So we do had BlackBerry, and we do had multiple other smartphones, smartphone companies. Who we had Motorola, very good answer. So when you have to think about competitors, you have to concentrate on all these competitors in terms of what specifications, what features they are providing, what is their pricing strategy, what is their advertising strategy. You have to consider about all of these aspects. And also I have another answer from Hemant. He says it should be as affordable that parents can gift their child. Very good. This is again another point. So that is the reason I mentioned that your smartphone is a affordable, uh, is in the price range of affordable price where it is not very high as well as it is not very low. Okay, so this can be afforded by any given person in or the customer of India. So I do also have a lot of other answers of mobile phone companies. People are saying Lenovo, there was Oppo, there was Micromax, very good. So when you have so much of a competitor already running their business successfully in India, now it is already like it becomes a challenge for you to enter into Indian market. But still, this site light company made a firm decision that they have to enter into the market and they have to start selling their particular smartphones in India market. Now whenever a foreign company decides to sell their smartphones in some other particular geography or in some other country, we call it as mode of entry. If one company which is originated from one country, if at all, if they are entering into a new geography or new geographical location to sell their products, that is called as mode of entry. Now, for any given company, in order to enter into new geography, there are two modes of entry which any of the companies should follow. The first one, we call it as online mode. The second one, we call it as offline mode. Now, first, let me make you clear what is this online and offline. So if at all, if a company is choosing to make an online mode of entry, that means they can operate and they can start selling their smartphones through a website. They will create their website. Through the website, the people in India can come to their website and they can start purchasing it. So this is an online mode of entry. Whereas when we talk about offline mode, you will enter into Indian market, you will set up your offline stores. You will set up your offline stores, you will hire employees who will work in that particular stores, and that is where you will start selling your phones. Now, these are the two modes of entry which are there in front of you. So if at all, if you are a promoter, now you tell me among these two, which particular mode of entry would be best for you, if at all, if you are entering into a Indian market? Is it a online mode or is it a offline? Okay, so Melissa says online, Vikas says offline. Okay, what about others? What do you feel? Which particular mode of entry do you think would be suitable, if at all, if you are entering into Indian market? When you say online, you should think about what are the advantages do you have, what are the disadvantages you have. In the same way, when you say offline, again, you should think about both offline as well as online. Okay, so I have multiple answers. Like, so Bikram says both should be stable. Okay. Hemant says low investment in online. Brilliant. That is one very good point. And maximum investment in offline. Okay. So I have another answer from Vaishali Sharma. She says both could be an option. Now, since that, you people have given both the answers. There are people who are voting for online as well, and there are some people who are voting for offline as well. First, let us discuss about the advantages and disadvantages on both the sides, even if you go for offline or online. So when we talk about online mode, the advantages, the investment is complete, very, very less. There is a very low investment. You need not to make a huge investment, if at all, if you're going through online. Whereas on the other side, what is a disadvantage? Since your product is completely new in the market, if you are going through online, the people or the customers in India, they cannot physically see your product, or they cannot feel your product, they cannot touch your product. So if at all, if something new, in Indian typical mindset, some people would have a fear that, since we cannot physically see the product, we cannot trust the product. Now, this kind of a mindset is, always available in Indian customer. Now, this is about the advantage and disadvantage of online. Now, coming to offline, when you talk about the advantage, if you set up a store across, and if customer is visiting your store, they can physically see your product. They can physically touch, they can see, and they can feel, and then they can decide about whether to purchase it or not. Whereas the disadvantages, if at all, if you're operating across India, so across India, you have to, set up your stores, you have to hire employees, there's a huge investment. And after doing such huge investment, if at all, if your product gets failure, then all that investment, will completely get ruined. Now that is kind of a disadvantage which you have. So this company, they analyzed all of these advantages and disadvantages, and they thought, how about let us go for online mode. So when we say online mode, they thought they can sell their phones through a website. So when they thought about this thing, the next thought which got into their mind is how to enter into Indian market through a online mode. That is where one of their strategists suggested that how about we'll make a deal. Let us make a deal with an Indian company who is already working into e-commerce, or who is already selling products in online. So what did these people do? They had a tie-up with an Indian e-commerce company. So they had a tie-up with this Indian e-commerce company, because this Indian e-commerce company, by then it was very much famous, and they knew the customers' mindset, Indian customers' behavior. So they thought, if at all, if we make a deal with this particular company, our sales could be better, or we can have a better platform in Indian market as well. So they made a deal with a Indian e-commerce company. So what was the deal basically? So the deal was that this Indian e-commerce company should take up the responsibility of selling these Chinese smartphones in Indian markets. So this was a kind of a deal which was made. So what would this Indian e-commerce company would get in return for making, for doing those sales? So in return, they would get around 17% of the cost of each phone which is sold. Okay, so that 17% of each phone which is sold should be given to this e-commerce company. Now this was a kind of a deal. So which says that for every single phone which is sold by this e-commerce company in Indian market, 17% of that particular cost of that phone should be given to this e-commerce company. Now, this was a kind of a deal which was made between this Chinese smartphone maker as well as this Indian e-commerce company. So this e-commerce company felt that, okay, this is a kind of a good deal. So now it is the responsibility of this e-commerce company to sell this smartphones in India. So now that responsibility has fallen into this e-commerce company. So what did they do basically? So after this deal was made, for the next 3 months, once the deal was made, for the next 3 months, this e-commerce company made a vigorous promotion. They had a lot of advertisements regarding the product, and they did a lot of promotional activities in India, so that people could get aware that yes, there is a smartphone company called Silite, and they have very good features and a smartphone which is at a affordable price. So for 3 months, they made a vigorous promotional activities. After doing their promotional activities for 3 months, so they announced that there is a flash sale which is happened. So they announced that these smartphones are available on a flash sale. If at all, if a customers, or if at all, if any of the Indian customers, if at all, if they have to buy it, they have to come online on a particular day at a particular time, and they have to purchase this particular smartphone. So this was a kind of an announcement which was made by this e-commerce company. So now after this particular announcement was made, this flash sale was available only for 10 minutes. That is, these Chinese smartphones, if an Indian customer had to purchase it, this flash sale was happening only for 10-minute time period. So the Indian customer had to come online within that 10 minutes, and they had to purchase the phones. Now, can someone make a guess? If at all, if this flash sale is happening across India just for a matter of 10 minutes, within a matter of 10 minutes, how many phones could have been sold according to you? Can someone make a guess with a number? Can you say within a matter of 10 minutes how many of these Sci-Lite phones could have been sold through this e-commerce company across India? Okay, I have a guess. Hemant says 2 lakhs. Okay, Vikas says around 1 lakh plus. Okay, very good answer. Anybody? Okay, Vijendra says it is around 10,000. Okay, any other guesses? How many phones could have been sold just in a matter of 10 minutes? I'm talking about 10 minutes of a flash sale within a matter of 10 minutes. Any other answers? Okay, I have an answer like around 1 to 2 lakhs. Okay, brilliant. Now, let us see within a matter of 10 minutes of a flash sale, this e-commerce company was able to sell around 10 lakh phones. So these people were able to sell 10 lakh phones within a matter of just 10 minutes. Now, once this happened, just within the same matter of 10 minutes, this Chinese smartphone maker got 10 lakh customers who had purchased their phone and who have started using it. Now, once this first flash sale happened, people were, like both this e-commerce company as well as this Chinese smartphone maker, both were very, very happy, that they had a very good kind of a sales. So after this, for the next 3 months, this e-commerce company didn't even make a single promotion regarding this particular Chinese product. Can someone tell why? If at all, if there is a very good sales which has happened from a flash sale, they should make more promotions. They should come out with more of such ads in order to get more and more sales. But in return, this people, after the first flash sale for the next 3 months, they did not make not even a single promotion of this Chinese smartphone basically. So can someone think about it? What could be the strategy behind not pushing not even a single promotion here? Why do you think the e-commerce company stopped promoting immediately after the first flash sale? What do you think could be the strategy here? Okay, I have an answer. So Ruchi says so that people will wait for new offers. Okay, maybe this could be one option because of which they could have made people wait. Okay, any other answers? Why do you think this e-commerce company stopped promoting it? For the next 3 months, there was completely zero promotion. What could be the strategy behind this? Okay, I have an answer so that they can study what is the response of a customer and check how many buyers are checking their products online. Okay, maybe again, this could be one wonderful answer. So anybody else, what do you think could be the strategy behind stopping the promotions? Why do you think they stopped the promotions? What else do you think? I have got around two very good answers. So anybody think anything else? What could have been the strategy behind stopping the promotions for next 3 months? Okay, so I would like to tell you. So the reason behind stopping this complete promotions was, so this e-commerce company wanted to check the response of those 10 lakh customers who have purchased the phone. So they wanted to check how these customers who have already purchased the phone, how they are feeling. So if at all, if they are feeling good about the product, if at all, if they have a positive vibe about the product which they have purchased, then they waited for 3 months so that these 10 lakh customers who have purchased it, so they wanted these customers to talk about the phone. So these customers, they wanted indirectly to promote this particular product among all the Indian customers who are there. So they waited for 3 month long time period so that these tech people can talk about their phone, give their reviews about the phone. So slowly within this next 3 months, this people started giving some positive, feedback about the product, so that everywhere in India, people literally started waiting for the next flash sale to come, so that if the second flash sale comes, so even they can purchase this product. That was a kind of a good environment which had created for this, smartphone. So after waiting for 3 months for these kind of positive vibrations to happen, so this e-commerce company once again they announced that again there is a flash sale which is happening, and again this second flash sale was again for about 10 minutes. Now, can someone make a guess? Now, the second flash sale is again happening just for a 10 minutes of time. Within a matter of 10 minutes, how many phones could have been sold? And now that already Indian customer know that this is a very good brand and the features, specifications, everything are very, very good and with a very much affordable price. Can someone make a guess how many phones could have been sold now? So now in the second flash sale, how many phones could have been sold? Okay, I have an answer. Bijendra says 50 lakhs. Okay, very good. Any others? Okay, Vikas says around 30 lakhs. Okay, brilliant. So now that you can see that since already people know about the product, so you can make a guess that obviously the sales could be much higher than the previous sales. Okay, I have answers like again 1 crore, Dhananjay says 1 crore. I have another answer which is around 30 lakhs. Okay, I have an answer like from 50 to 60 lakhs. Okay, that is brilliant basically. So after knowing about the product in second flash sale, okay, so they were able to sell around 25 lakh phones. So just in a matter of, so all of these things, it just took around max 6 months time. Just in a matter of 6 months put together. So this Chinese smartphone maker, that is C Lite, so they were able to capture somewhere around 35 lakh customers, that is Indian customers who were using their smartphone. Now, this was kind of a very big hit in the market, and none of their competitors thought about this kind of a strategy, of selling their phones through flash sale. So this created a very big impact in the market, and till around 2019, okay, this company basically they were a kind of a market leader in the smartphone segment. So this is how this particular company entered into Indian market. So everything went well. So this Chinese company also was very happy because they had a very big, client base, and even this e-commerce company was very happy because they were getting 17% of the each phone which is sold, 17% of the cost of each and every single phone which is sold. So both companies were very happy. Now once everything was happening and everything was going very smoothly in a happy manner, so the CEO of this company, okay, Mr. Lee, so he observed certain very good insights. So what did he observe basically is he observed that the sales of our company is going very, very well. So this is a good thing. And also we are able to capture and we are able to get more and more customer base. Now these two are very kind of positive thing for a company. He was very happy about this, but also he observed one more thing. What did he observe is, though the sales are going up, the company was not making any profit. Though the company is selling lakhs together phones, though the company is gaining more and more customers every time they make a flash sale, but still the company was not in a profit, and this made them to worry. Can someone tell me what could have been the problem? Even though if they are able to sell more and more mobile phones, but still, why do you think this Chinese smartphone maker was not in profit? What could have been the reason according to you? Anybody? So why do you think? Very good answer. I have got brilliant answer from Vikas. He says 17% to e-commerce. Brilliant. So the main reason, though they were able to make a very high sale, okay, but still they were unable to end in profit was because of this 17% cost, which was straight away going to this e-commerce company. Now, since 17% cost was directly going to this e-commerce company who was acting as a middleman between the Chinese smartphone maker and the Indian customer. So this e-commerce company was acting just as a middleman between these two people. So in order to act as a middleman by providing his platform to sell their products, so they were giving them 17% cost. So the CEO started thinking, the CEO thought that how about, is there a way in order to cut down this 17% cost? So he thought if at all, if we cut down this 17% cost, so we can, gain the profits. So he was thinking that what are the ways in which we can cut down this 17% cost, which is going to a e-commerce company. Now, you tell me, if at all, if you are asked for a suggestion in this particular point where the CEO comes and asks you that, can you give me some suggestion what we can do in order to, cut down the 17% which is going to the e-commerce company? What sort of suggestion you can give there? Can someone think on this? How can we cut down that 17% of a cost which is going to an e-commerce company? So if at all, if we cut down that, we will again come back to profits. Whereas since it is going to them, we are not able to, we are not able to gain more profits. So what we can do? Okay, I have some brilliant answer. Vikas says creating their own e-commerce site. Very good. And the same answer is given by Vijendra as well. So to build your own e-commerce site, that's brilliant answer. Again, Hemant, he says develop own website and tie up with the delivery vendor. Okay, brilliant. Again, that is one brilliant answer. So in the same way, even they thought, how about let us launch our own, online platform or our own website where people, instead of going through that e-commerce company, let them come online to our website and let them purchase the product, so that we can save that 17% cost which is going to that e-commerce company. So this was a kind of a thought which came into their mind, and that is when they launched their own online store. So they launched their online store and they started selling their products in this particular store. But side by side, they didn't, break the, deal between the e-commerce company. Even for that side by side, even that was happening. That is, people were coming onto e-commerce store and they were purchasing the smartphone, and even people were coming to this their own online platform or their online store and they were purchasing the smartphone as well. So both were happening. The sales in both the platform was happening simultaneously. But after some time, they compared the sales which was happening between both the stores, the in-house, like the own store, the sale of their own stores, and they compared that with the sales which was happening in e-commerce store, and they find it that even after launching their own store, still the sales were happening in a very high scale in that e-commerce company. The sales was not happening very, very well in their own online store. Can someone tell why? Why do you think even after launching an online store, why do you think people still preferred to going onto the e-commerce store and buying it, and why not they were coming onto the online store? Why do you think even after launching your own, online platform, though you were giving sort of discounts and things like that, but still, why do you think people preferred going on to that e-commerce store for purchasing this Chinese smartphone rather than coming onto their own platform? Okay, I have an answer where Hemant says brand comparison. Okay, so brand comparison, even if you go to e-commerce store or even if you come to the own online platform, the same is available there, right? So what sort of brand comparison do you think customer would have made? Okay, cost comparison. Okay, maybe this could be one point where if you say cost comparison, maybe you would have thought that the e-commerce store would have given much more discount than your own particular store. Maybe because of that, people would have gone. Maybe that could be one point. And product quality. See, even the product quality, it is completely standard, right? It is just that you are purchasing it from a different platform. If you perform it from Amazon or if you perform it from Flipkart or from Snapdeal, do you think the product quality of a particular smartphone changes? It will be same everywhere, right? So can you think on that, Mr. Bikram? And I have another answer like Bijendra says trust. Very good. This is one very good answer. People didn't had trust. See, one thing is like trust factor is very important in terms of Indian mindset or typical Indian customer. So, people thought, hardly few people knew that, this particular smartphone company has also launched their own product, their own website where they can go and they can purchase the product. But whereas, most of the people, they knew that this Indian e-commerce company is very much famous and they relied upon ordering products from this Indian e-commerce company. So since they had a trust on this Indian e-commerce company, majority of the people, they, if at all, if they had to buy this smartphone, they went to this Indian e-commerce company rather than going on to their own online website. Now again, this created a problem. So this was again a problem for a CEO. He thought that even after launching our online store, still people are going into e-commerce. So again, we are losing around 17% there, if at all, if a customer is purchasing from there. So he thought, what else can be done so that we can increase the sales in our online platform? So what can be done in such a way that we can increase the sales in our own online platform when it is compared to the e-commerce store? So this was a kind of a thought which came into the CEO's mind. So that is where he thought, like, how about let us hire a data scientist? He thought, how about we will hire a data scientist and let us discuss all these issues with him so that this data scientist can analyze, can understand the business, and based on his understanding, he can give us some strategies or some ideas which can be implemented in such a way that we can improve the sales which is happening in our online store. So this was a thought which came into the CEO's mind, and that is where they hired this data scientist. So they hired a data scientist, and the only requirement which they had was that this data scientist to understand the business problem. The business problem here was their online store sales was not going very well. So the role of this data scientist is to understand the business, analyze the business, and then to give some ideas and strategies in order to improve the sales in their online store. So this was the role and responsibility of this. Explained all of these things, all the business problem which this Silite company is facing. So now it is the job of data scientist to think about how he can increase or increase the sales of the smartphones in their online store. Now, let us assume that we are that data scientist who have been given this task. Now, our task is to understand the business. Our task is to understand how this particular business is working, how what are the things which is happening in our online website, and then based on our understanding, we as a data scientist, we have to give this company some strategies or some solution in order to increase the sales which is happening in their online store. Now, let us say that if we are a data scientist, let us think in the same way like how a data scientist thinks, how a data scientist works. And in the same way, let us start working and let us start analyzing this business problem. And let us try to give some strategies and solutions so that using that, this particular smartphone company can increase the sales in their online store. Now, if at all, if we start thinking that we are a data scientist, let us understand how does a data scientist actually work? What all things he will take into consideration while doing certain analysis? What all things is basically required? So the first thing, so this is something like a framework which every given data scientist follows. Whenever you have a business problem, and if you're trying to understand and analyze that business problem, there are certain frameworks which everyone should follow. So this is like a set of rules which everyone should follow. So let us go with that same rules and let us see how using these framework we can actually help this company by giving certain strategies in order to improve the sales of their online store. So let us say when a data scientist is given this kind of a task to analyze a business, to understand the business problem, the first thing what is required is to understand the problem statement. So when I say understanding a problem statement, it talks about what is the problem which is faced by the company and how is that we should solve it. That is nothing but understanding a problem statement. So when I take this Chinese smartphone company, what is the problem statement or what is the business problem which they are facing? They are facing that the sales in their online store is not very good. So we have to analyze their business and we have to understand and do certain analysis, and we should give them some strategies and solutions in order to improve their sales. So this is our problem statement. So as a data scientist, always you should have a complete clarity on the problem statement. What is the problem statement? What we should do about it. Whenever your problem statement is clear for you, you will get a direction in which you can start thinking on. So this is the first thing which any given data scientist should be having. That is a complete understanding of a problem statement. So once this is done, what is the next thing which is required? The next thing is understanding the data. See, whenever you deal with data science, it is everything which is revolving around data. So the data will work like a fuel. Okay, with data or like without data, you cannot do anything in this field of data science. So the next thing is you should have an appropriate data with which you can relate to the problem statement which you are dealing with. So now what I'll be doing is I will be giving you a link. So I will be giving you a link. Through that link, I want you all to download the data file. Okay, I want you to download the data file and open it in your systems and keep it ready so that we will be starting to work on a hands-on manner where we will start working on a real-time data. Now I'm just posting the link. So I have posted the link. I want all of you to go through the link. Once you go through the link, you will get a download option for a particular data. Please download the data, and once the data is downloaded, please open it in an Excel file, and once it is done, please give me a positive sign that you have downloaded it so that I will get an indication that your data is ready so that we can start our work. So please click on this link and download the data. Once the downloading is done and the data is ready, please do let me know. If at all, if someone is facing any sort of a problem, please do let me know so that I'll try to help you. Download it and open the data and keep it ready. So you just have to, just right click and open it either in a incognito mode. You can just right click on the link and you can open it in an incognito mode. Those who are not able to open the link, once you open it in an incognito mode, you will be able to get a you will be able to see a download button where you can download it. Okay, Dhananjay says, will it open in mobile? No, sorry Dhananjay, it will not open in mobile. You should be having a laptop for this. Okay, Vikram, you're saying you are not able to open the link. Okay, are you? Just a moment, let me just check. Okay, you just have to right click on that particular link and you have to open it in an incognito mode. Let me just check what is happening. Just give me a moment. Okay, Bikram, if you are not able to like directly open it, copy paste the entire link in the URL of your browser and please try to open it. Just try it so that you will be able to open it. So once it opens, you will get a download option so that from there you can download it. Please try doing it, Mr. Bikram. And I hope all others all of you are able to download it without any problem, please do let me know if you are facing any issues. If it is done, please let me know if it is done so that I'll understand that now the data is ready so that we can start our analysis. And since it's a hands-on session, I request all of you to use your laptop so that you can work on the data. Okay, Justin, you're saying you cannot copy. You can easily copy the link if I'm not wrong. Please do select the entire link, Justin. Just select the entire link and copy it. So once you copy it, please do open your browser and please paste it there so that you can easily get it. Either you can right click on the link and open it in an incognito mode, or just select the entire link, copy it, open it in a browser. Once you open it in a browser, you will get a download option so that you can download it there. Please try this. And others, I hope all of you have downloaded it without any problem. I believe there is no problem in downloading for others. Okay, Justin, you see that it is not working. Okay, I think I'm not sure how you are trying it. Can you please tell me how is that you are trying it to open it? Because when all others are able to do it, I think even you would be able to do it. But I think you're doing it in some wrong way or in some different way. If possible, just try to right click on the link and then open it in an incognito mode. Okay, I'll try to send once again. Okay, please try to do it. Okay, so this is the link. Just try it once again. Just try it once again. Because since it's a live session, it would be very effective if at all if you start working along with me on the data so that you'll get a real-time experience on working on a data science project. Okay, so I hope all of you have downloaded it. I believe you people have downloaded it. So let me just share my screen. Okay, so this is my screen. I hope my screen is visible for all of you. Please do say yes if my screen is visible. And I hope you have the same data in front of you. Okay, brilliant. So let us continue here. So first thing is now that, I'll just discuss the data, framework here. So I'll say, framework for data science. So the first framework which we discussed was, understanding the problem statement. Understanding the problem statement. So now we have understood that the problem is they are having a very low sale on their online store. So they have to increase that. So this is the first step. Okay. The second framework which we should do is we have to understand the data. So when you have to understand the data, you have to observe how many columns do you have and how many total rows do you have. Okay, how many total number of rows do you have in the data and how many total number of columns do you have in the data. Now in the field of data science, you should understand that whenever you say a column, so we do call these columns as something known as features. Okay, please remember this. For these columns, when I say all of these columns which are there, columns will be called in the name of features. And when it comes to the rows, all these rows which are there, for rows, we call it as something known as records. So for rows, we call it as records, and for columns, we call it as features. So now let us understand how many columns do we have and how many rows do we have in the data. Now, when we see the columns, so the total number of columns which are there, we have around we have around 7 columns, or we have around 7 features, okay, in the data. So the total number of features which are there, we have around 7 features. And coming to rows, can someone tell me how many number of rows do we have? Or how many number of records do we have in the data? Anybody? 200. Very good. So it is like, now how do you check? Usually what people do is, they'll try to, scroll it like this, and then they will check. But I'll just show you a shortcut for someone who doesn't know. What you can do is you can click on the first cell here, that is customer, and you can hold your control key. By holding your control key, you can press your down arrow once. As soon as you press your down arrow once, you can come to the last record of the data. Similarly, when you press Control up, you will go back to the first cell. Similarly, when you press Control right, you will directly jump to the extreme end of your data. That is last column of your data. So like this, when you use your control key along with your navigation keys, this is called as jump keys, which are used for jumping from one cell to another. So you should use your control along with any of your navigation keys, so that you can jump and navigate like this. Now another shortcut which I would like to teach you is, you can use your control along with your shift key. Hold your control and shift together and then press down arrow, so that it will select the entire column. Now this is called as a selection key, where you will use control along with your shift key and press down once. Similarly, when you say control, shift and right, so that you will select the entire data. So this is how, even though if your data is very big, you can select the entire data within fraction of seconds. So these are the shortcuts which you should be knowing. When you say control plus any of the navigation keys, it is used as a jump keys. Whenever you use control along with the shift and navigation keys, they are used for as selection keys. Now this is just a shortcut. I think most of you will be knowing it, but still those who don't know, I'm just giving you an idea for this. So in our second step, we have to understand the data. When we say understanding the data, we have to see how many features do we have. We have around 200. And how many records do we have? Like how many features? We have around 7 features, and we have around 200 records in our data. Now, this is the data in which we have to start working on. We have to analyze this data. We have to understand the data. And with this data, we have to give some strategies to the company, that is Silite smartphone company, so that they can adapt that particular strategy, and then they can improve or they can increase the sales in their online store. So in that framework, the second framework will be understanding the data. And the third framework, it would be better if you record the same thing, if you write it down or if you note it down in your system or in your screen, it would be very useful for you. Please do try to note down these points, so that it will be very useful for you to understand in a flow. So the third step here, we call it as a data classification. So there is something known as data classification. So this is the third framework which we would follow. Now, what is this data classification basically? Now, any given data which is available, they will be classified into two types basically. So the first type, we can call it as categorical data. The second type, we can call it as continuous data. Now, any given data in the world, okay, either the data will be categorical data, or either they will be classified as continuous data. So let us understand what is this classification, what is categorical data, what is continuous data. So first, let us understand about categorical data. Now, categorical data are those types of data which will be having certain finite possibilities. So which will be having certain finite possibilities. So when I say having a finite possibilities, you can classify them or you can group them under certain classification. Like for example, if I have, let me give an example here. So I'll say the example for categorical data, let us say it is gender. when we have a data called gender, we can classify all males as one group. We can classify all females as one group. So for any given data, if which is having finite number of possibilities and which can be classified into specific groups, such type of a data can be categorized under categorical data. Such data can be called as categorical data. Like for example, I'll say blood group. Now, if I have a data which says blood group, where I can group all the people with a blood group of B positive as one, all the people who are having blood group of A positive as one. So again, there is a finite possibilities in that data. So whenever you have a finite possibilities, that comes under categorical data. Another example, I can say educational qualification. So I can group all the people who have studied till 10th as one group, all the people who have studied till 12th as one group, and so on. So whenever you are able to classify them, they are called as categorical data. So can someone give me an example of your own for a categorical data? Anybody? What sort of example you can give, which could be having a finite possibilities, which can be considered as a categorical data? Can somebody give an example of your choice? What do you think can be considered under a specific groups? Can anybody give an example? Age group, okay, brilliant. T-shirt size, very good, Henry. So you can have t-shirt size, you can group based on the age groups and so on. So all of these comes under your categorical data. Now coming to continuous data. Now continuous data are those type of data which will be having infinite possibilities. It will be having infinite possibilities. Basically, it will be in the form of numerical form. So when I say those data which will be in the form of numerical values, I can say like height, or I can say employee number. Okay, I can say weight. Now those values which will be having infinite. Now height can be anything and everything. Now weight can be anything. Employee's number or employee ID can be anything. So which is completely infinite. So whenever you have a data which is completely infinite and which is represented in a numerical form, that sort of a data can be considered as continuous data. So these are the two major classifications of data where you can find it on any sort of a data which you deal with on your daily basis. Either the data will be categorical or either the data will be continuous in nature. So these are the kind of a data which will be used as a classification, and you should have a strong idea upon these two categories. Now, as soon as you have a data, you should be able to understand among these set of data which are categorical, which are continuous. Now, when we talk about categorical, so easily we can understand that your day, which is having a finite possibilities. So all day which is there, like all Mondays can be classified as one, all Tuesday can be classified as one, and so on. So all of these can be grouped as finite possibility. So we can say this is as a categorical data. Again, your browser is a categorical data where you can group all Chrome users as one, all Internet Explorer users as one, and Firefox user as one. Whereas the other data which you have, all other data can be considered as continuous data. So this is how in the framework, the third step is you should be able to classify the data based on their classification. So this is the next step which is there. Okay. So now let us go further. So let us go further and let us continue with our analysis. Now, first of all, I didn't introduce you to this data. First, let me introduce you to this data. Now, what is this data basically? What all information do we have here? Now, this is a data of those customers who came online to their online store, to the Sci online store, and who have purchased the products from their online store. Now, all of these data which is collected, these are collected based on those customers who came on to their online platform or their website for purchasing the product. So what all information it has captured? It has captured what is the total number of customers. This is just like a customer ID or serial number. This talks about on which day this customer has come online, on which browser he has used in order to browse through our website, and before purchasing some products, how many number of clicks he has made, what is the total number of pages he has viewed on my website before purchasing a product, and what is the total time spent on my website, and what is the total amount which is spent by a particular customer on our website. Now, these are all the different information. Analyze this data, and based on our analysis through this particular data, we have to give them some strategies. So let us see how we can do that with this data. Now, just a general question which I would like to ask. Now that you know what is your problem statement, what is that you have to do? Now, if at all, if you have this particular data, can someone tell me what sort of analysis you can do with this sort of a data? What kind of understanding can be made by this data according to you? Can someone think about what sort of analysis you can think here? Okay, I have an answer says spending range, very good. Maximize the sale, okay. The day highest or lowest sale, brilliant. I can check which day there was a very highest sale, which there was a very low sale, brilliant. What else can be done? What all other analysis can be done? Apart from this, anything else? Okay, we have browser. What we can do with the browser, Vijendra? What sort of understanding or what sort of analysis you can do? User, brilliant. You can say like what sort of users are using Chrome for coming onto our website, how many are using Firefox, how many are using Internet Explorer. You can understand all of those things. So like this, when you have a data and when you have a problem statement to think on, that gives a direction to think on, that gives a particular path in which you can think about analyzing the data and coming out with some strategies. So that is where, let us go to the next step in our framework. So the next step in our framework, we can say it as analysis of categorical data. We can call it as analysis of a categorical data. So we will start with our data here. So we will go with one by one particular column and we will see how we can analyze that particular column. Now the first column, it is just like a serial number. It is just giving me the count of customers. Now you tell me, anybody, if at all, if I have this count of customers here, can I do any sort of analysis with this particular data or with this particular column? Okay, what sort of analysis can I do with this particular serial number of a customer? Anybody? See, the best analysis which this particular column gives us, it will just tell me that how many customers are there. It is just giving me a serial number. Apart from that, do you think, if at all, if you think about only this particular column, apart from understanding how many customers are there, do you think any further analysis can be done? Anybody? No analysis can be done. It is just giving us an idea how many customers are there. So let us leave this column. Let us go to the next column. Now this is a categorical data. Now you tell me, if at all, if you have a day column, what could be analyzed by a day column according to you? Although I have already had an answer, I think someone had already said like, which, what is the count of days? Okay, Hemant says, what is the count of days? What can be understood? See, basically this data which we have, this is talking about the customer traffic. On each day, how many customers are coming onto my website? How many customers are visiting my website? Now, if at all, if I have a day column, don't you think I can check on Monday how many customers have visited? On Tuesday, how many customers are visited? And in the same manner, don't you think can I check on which day there was a very high sale and on which day there was a very low sale? Like a low, flow of a customer, on which day the customer traffic was very high, on which day the customer traffic was very low. Don't you think we will be able to understand that with a day column? So let us see, okay, let us see how we can understand that. So in order to understand the summary of this particular data, like out of 200 customers, how many are coming on Monday, how many are coming on Tuesday, for that, we have to perform a frequency table. Okay, we have to perform something known as frequency distribution. So when I say a frequency distribution talks about how many times a particular category is coming. So it will check the frequency of occurrence of that particular category. Now, how to check that basically? For that, we will perform something known as pivot tables in Excel. So for those who doesn't know what is pivot table is used in order to get the summary of the data. So using that summary, we can understand out of this 200 customers, how many customers are coming on each day. Now, first, I would like to show you how to perform that. For those who doesn't know, you can click anywhere inside the data. All of you follow my instructions and do it along with me. You can, click anywhere inside the data. Go to this insert option. Once you go to insert option, you can go to this pivot table here. Please click on this pivot tables. Once you click on this pivot tables, you'll get a pop-up like this. Just click on OK, so that you will get a sheet something like this. Please do it in your system and let me know once it is done so that I'll continue. If you want me to repeat it once again, feel free to ask me so that I'll repeat it. If someone is not able to do it, you just have to click anywhere inside the data, go to insert. Once you go to insert, towards your extreme left, you will find it. Okay, Hemant is asking for a repetition. I'll just repeat it once more. Please have a look at it. You can click anywhere inside the data, go to insert. On top, towards extreme left, you will find this pivot table option. Please click on this and then say OK. You will get this pop-up. You just say OK. So you'll get this kind of a new sheet, table which is open. Okay, please do it. So I hope all of you are doing it in your system. I hope none of you are feeling it difficult in doing it. Yes, once you get this, all of you please follow my instruction. Towards right side here, you can see that there is a day column here. Okay, there is a day here. So what you should do is just drag this day, drop it into this rows like this. You just drag that day, drop it into rows so that you can see that all the days from Monday till Sunday, all the day which is present. Once this is done, in the same way, again drag your day, drop it into values like this. You just have to drag your day, drop it into rows, drag your day, drop it into values so that you will get a table something like this. So did you guys get it, all of you? You just have to drag your day into rows, drag your day into values. Now, once you get this, I just want to, I just want you to observe this table and tell me, what did you understand by this? Can someone tell me what is your analysis based on this particular table? Are you able to understand something out of it? If at all, if you say yes, then what is your understanding here? Okay, Fridays. What is it with Fridays? Number of customers per day. Okay, you can say that Friday there are more number of customers. Okay, very good. Very good observation. What else? High traffic on Friday. Absolutely. What else you can observe? So we'll do one thing. See, what is happening is whenever you read a number, it becomes very difficult for understanding or analyzing when it is in the form of a number. So what we'll do is, let us plot a graph so that it gives us a better understanding. So what you can do is, you can make a single click anywhere inside the table. Make a single click anywhere inside the table, go to insert and go to this 2D column chart and plot this first chart so that you will get a chart, something like this. Please plot a chart, all of you. You can click anywhere inside the data. Once you click anywhere inside the data or inside the table, go to insert and plot this 2D column chart. You will get this chart. Once you get this chart, this is how it looks. So instead of reading the number here and understanding it, now you can clearly understand what is the trend. Now, most of you will be able to give much better answers. One thing is, already you have observed Friday is the highest day where there is more number of sales. What else you can observe? What else you can observe, all of you? Anything else? Any observation? Okay, Wednesday, lowest sale. Okay. Apart from that, anything else? Wednesday is a lowest sale, very good observation. So Friday is the highest and Wednesday is the lowest, very good. Now, since you have observed this, now this is nothing but our analysis. Now, one thing, we have to think about is, as a data scientist, your role is not only to analyze the data. After analyzing it, you have to come out with some strategy as well, with which you can increase the sale based on this analysis. Now here we can see that the Friday is having a higher sale, Wednesday is having a lower sale. So if at all if this is the case, what we can do in order to improve the sales? What is that we can do in order to increase the sales or increase more number of customers on the website? If at all if I have to make sure that more number of customers are visiting my website, if I have to increase the customer traffic, what makes a customer attracted towards coming onto our website? Anybody? What do you think can be done? How to attract more and more customers towards our particular website? Okay, brilliant answer. We can say we can provide discounts or offers. That's a brilliant thing. So if at all if we are talking about discounts or an offer, so out of this entire week's trend, okay, we are observing a trend here. So when we observe this trend, can someone suggest, if at all if we think about providing a discount, okay, if at all if you are providing a discount or offer, which day could be the best day in order to give a discount or an offer according to you? Among all these days, which day would be best? Okay, brilliant. So most of you are saying Wednesday because Wednesday is having a low sale. Brilliant, very good idea. But I think I have also another answer, like Christian says it's on Friday. But the thing is, like, if at all if you give a discount on Friday, even though if you give discount or even though if you don't give discount, people are already coming onto your website and they are visiting your website. So should you think about that particular day where already people are coming in without any of your efforts, or should you think about that particular day where you have to put your efforts, where you should think about increasing the customers? So in that case, if you think, you should focus on that day where there is a low sale. So in that case, when you see, you can consider about Wednesday because it is a low compared to all other. So this is in the normal way of thinking. Now I'll tell you how, in terms of the data scientist thinks. Now, whenever you are analyzing any sort of a trend like this, now this is called as a weekly trend. Now, whenever you are dealing with a weekly based trend or monthly based trend, so what do we do is, we will try to observe. We will try to observe among all of these pillars which are there. We will try to observe which are the two biggest pillars among the data. Now, if at all, if you observe which are the two biggest pillar, one is your Monday, another one is Friday. Once you observe the two biggest pillar, we will try to focus on the middlemost point between those two bigger pillar. So if at all, if I have to focus on the middlemost point among those two bigger pillar, it will always be Wednesday. So let us say, for example, if I'm deciding about Wednesday, assume that I'll just highlight it. Okay, I'll just highlight it. Please, all of you also do it in your system. Now let us say if we are focusing on giving discount on Wednesday, just because we have announced that we will give discount on Wednesday, there we can expect that there could be the number of people who could walk into our website could little bit increase, and since it is increasing, this number of people who are coming now, don't you think it will slightly go up, the bar will slightly go up, just because we have mentioned that we will be giving discount on Wednesday? Because of that word Wednesday. Okay, so the number of traffic onto our website will slightly increase. Now, since it is slightly increasing, just try to observe the overall trend. Now, don't you think if at all, if there is a slight increase in on your Wednesday, you can see that there is a kind of a balanced trend for your overall week? Can you observe that, all of you? You need not to put this shape, just for your understanding I have put it. You need not to do that. So just observe here, when I didn't had this, okay, now I could observe that there was a falling trend. Usually when it comes to sales, no one would accept if it is a falling trend. Whereas just because we are providing a discount on Wednesday, and because of that word discount or an offer, it could lead to more number of traffic on our website. So since we are having more number of traffic on our website, now can you observe that there is a kind of a balance in the overall trend? So it gives a kind of a balance, right? So instead of accepting a falling trend, this kind of a balanced trend is moreover accepted. Now this is how the statistics can be used. So in terms of statistics, whenever you're performing a median based trend balancing, so the name of this particular strategy, we can we call it as median based trend balancing. So in this median based trend balancing, what do? You will observe the two biggest pillars, and you will try to choose that middle position among both the pillars, and you will try to focus on that middlemost position. In our case, as of now, since the biggest pillars are Monday and Friday, we are focusing on Wednesday. Whereas if at all, if the two pillars would have been Tuesday and Thursday, we could have focused on Thursday. So if at all, if the two biggest pillars could have been on Tuesday and Saturday, sorry, then we would have focused on Thursday. So this is how your median based trend balancing kind of a strategy works in order to increase the sale. The ultimate idea here is, the main role of us is we have to understand, we have to analyze, and after analyzing, we have to come out with some strategy. Now we have analyzed the data, and we have found that Wednesday is the day where there is a low traffic. If at all, if we give some strategy, like if at all, if we try to come out with some strategy, that strategy could be, try to provide discount on Wednesday, so that it will lead to increase in the traffic on Wednesday, so that we can end up getting a balanced kind of a trend for overall week. So this is how the strategies will come. Now, once this is done, so the next thing is, we have to, first thing what we have to do is, in any of your chart, you should never have this, grid lines, which is there in the, in this particular chart. So what you can do is, you can just click on this line and just hit delete button, so that all the background grid lines will go away and it looks completely clear like this. And also I would request all of you to please double click on this Wednesday, and you just highlight it with some color. I'll just go with red color, so that why it is indicated by red, because red is Wednesday is one particular day we are focusing on providing discount on. So that has to be highlighted, so that when you are presenting it to your management, you will only show this graph and you will explain what is happening here and what is your strategy. Your management will never understand this table, these numbers and all. No, they will only understand through the graph. And while explaining it through the graph, you have to also, provide a statement. That is, what is that you are trying to say here? So that should be clearly mentioned here. So what you can do is you can click on this total here and please do rename this. We can rename it as offer discounts on Wednesday. So by seeing this, since you have already highlighted here Wednesday and your statement is saying that you have to offer discounts on Wednesday, anybody can easily understand by looking at this graph what is that you are trying to convey. So with that, when you are trying to connect with a story, you have to say that in order to increase the traffic on our website, we can focus on giving discount on Wednesday, so that by giving discount on Wednesday, we will try to achieve a balanced trend for the overall week. This is how you have to analyze and you have to come out with a strategy which can help solving the business problem. Is this clear so far, all of you? Okay, now once this is done, first thing what we'll do is you have this plus mark here. Please click on this plus mark, all of you, so that you will open a new sheet. Once you open a new sheet, please double click on this sheet 4 and rename this sheet as dashboard. Please rename the sheet as dashboard. Open a new sheet, double click on that sheet 4 and rename that sheet as dashboard. Once you rename it, come back to your sheet 3, cut your chart from your sheet 3, go back to your dashboard and paste it there. Please do this, all of you. Open a new sheet, rename it as a dashboard, come back to your sheet 2. If possible, please do rename the sheet 2 as tables, so that we have 3 sheets. One is data, one is dashboard, one is tables. Cut the chart from your tables, paste it on your dashboard. Done, all of you? So once this is done, go to your view tab here. You have your view option on top here. Just disable your grid lines and disable your headings. So this is how your dashboard looks completely plain. So whenever you are explaining your strategy to your management, we will never show them what is the data. We will never show them what is the tables. We will open only the dashboard and we will explain our analysis as well as along with our strategy by just opening our dashboard. So this is how the process of working on our data happens. So I hope all of you have done till here. Okay, very good. So once this is done, okay, so now I would like to give you a task. Okay, so for tomorrow's session, before tomorrow's session, the task for you people is I want you people to come to the next one, that is the browser. I want you to plot a similar kind of a pivot table for that to check and understand what is the customer traffic on each browser, whether the customer traffic is high on Internet Explorer or whether the customer traffic is high on Chrome or high on Firefox. So I want you to analyze that on your own in the same way like how we have done, so that you can understand how to analyze the browser column. So once you understand how to, once you analyze in which particular browser there are more number of customers, you come out with your strategy, that what sort of strategy you can come out with that particular analysis, which can be linked for increasing the sales on our online store. So this is one task which I want you people to do it for tomorrow, so that in tomorrow's session, we will discuss about your strategy, what you have done, what you have understood and analyzed, and then we will go further in our framework. So this is what we will be doing. And so with this, I'll just, try to, conclude our today's session